Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
Yay! That's my hand clap. There's your official. See, I fixed the lighting on my camera. Yay for me. Fix that. I don't know what happened with that. But welcome to day 9 of of my 12 days of giveaways. And today's topic is disaggregating data. I am not going to go into this deep detail about disaggregating data. I'm going to give you an overview of how to disaggregate your data to get you ready for test prep, to definitely know how to break down your data, and then look at it from a standpoint of what skills you need to focus on to move your kids. So, if you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Michelle, aka the Ignited Teacher. And what I do on my platform is I provide teachers with evidence based strategies that can be used in their classrooms as early as the next day. So if you're watching me live or watching on the replay, drop a comment in the comment section saying where you where you're tuning in from, or who do you support, and what grade level you teach, if you're teaching a grade level. And thank you for joining. I had to come on a little later. I had some things to do prior to getting home, but I am here nonetheless. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to revisit my data set that I've been using for this 12 days of giveaway. So here's the data set that I'm looking at. This is just overall data. It's data that that is used, that is actually from a test that was given, as you can see, 2016, really almost 10 years ago, 3 years shy. And today we're going to look at my template for disaggregating data. So disaggregating data, or disaggregation, may sound like this huge word, but it just means to break it down further. So when we get raw data, we don't, it just comes jumbled, and we have to classify it based on categories. So one category that you can use, which I use, is your state's achievement categories. That is just one way to actually do it. So you have mastery, approaches, and then we have unsatisfactory. We do have meets, and I think I left that out. So it's mastery, meets, approaches, and unsatisfactory. That's one way that you can look at the data. Another way to disaggregate data is to group it by standards or student expectations. So this is a second way that I look at data. So if my students, and I'm gonna go back to this data set after I say this, my students in looking at certain TEKs. So if I'm looking at, this is fifth grade, and the readiness standards are in green, and I have my supporting standards in yellow. The green standards, the readiness standards are what I'm going to look at. And I know that, let me see, 5.3K is a huge standard in fifth grade because, as you can see, it has 3 questions that are there. I wouldn't necessarily look at 5.3E because it's only 1 question. And really, the students, it's going to be a hit or miss. But 3 questions, a lot of these have 3 questions along with supporting TEKs or standards that go with them. So I would look at 5.3K and then look at all the supporting TEKs that go with 5.3K. That's what I would look at. And then disaggregate it and create a spreadsheet with those heavy hitter standards and the skills that you need to address, and then attach those kids or students that are struggling in that area. So that's what I would do if I was going to break it down by standard. You can also break it down by demographic. So there's several ways that you can disaggregate your data in your classroom. It just depends on what you're looking at. So if, say for instance, you have a goal for your special education population, if you have a goal for your EBs, emerging bilinguals, African Americans, whomever, you can disaggregate that data and look at them from this standpoint. Okay, where are my kids that are emerging bilinguals that are at mastery, approaches, unsatisfactory, or meets? That's a way that you can look at that. You can also look at them from a growth standpoint. So if you're trying to grow this group, now you have to pay attention. I told you some grade levels are not growth grade levels, especially if you're in the state of Texas. Third grade, fifth grade science are not growth grade levels. Anytime there's a first time testing group, they are not growth. They're not growth. They're not. So you have to pay attention. Now, generally, because I used to teach fifth grade and secondary, I would generally have a growth one, but I don't. I don't have kids as far as standardized test prep as far as growth is concerned on there because there is no star progress measure. It's not. So we don't look at that for third grade, but we do look in growth at growth in terms of, are they progressing? And that's that progress monitoring that we're talking about. I will talk about progress monitoring tomorrow um, and show you the way that I progress monitor, especially when it's dealing with test prep. Because the way that you progress monitor during the school year versus test prep should not be the same. You should be using, for test prep, for progress monitoring, you should be using the platform that you're going to use for your students and what they're going to see. Because the better the students are able to think through the test, then the more successful they will be. So I'm going to go ahead and look back at this. This is what I'm going to drop in. It's going to be a link to a test prep. Lord have mercy, lost my time. A test prep link, and this is what I'm going to drop in tonight for you, so that you just make a copy of it and change it however you want to change it. So Hopefully, this was helpful and that you get something out of it. If it's just a little snippet, if you want to join the 12 days of giveaway, let me grab my link. Grab my link. I only have 2 days left, and you can still join to get the link to the progress monitoring. I'm trying to put it in here, but it doesn't want to do it right. You can still join, and there's 2 days left. So, if you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section. The link is there if you want to get today's link and all the rest of the videos and things. Definitely join and get access to that. And then join me tomorrow for day 10 of my 12 days of giveaway. So have a good evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.